Hello everyone, this is Athens-Clarke County Mayor Kelly Girtz, and we're here on Friday, September 10th, 2021. And of course tomorrow marks 20 years since 9/11. And I imagine, like is true for many of you who are alive and conscious then, I can remember where I was that morning. I was teaching 8th graders at Coyle Middle School. I had just gotten through teaching a first period Georgia Studies class and was walking my students down the hallway to the rotunda where they go on to their art and gym and health classes, and was complaining to my colleague Erin, who taught English up the hall, that I was a little bit weary that morning, and she basically told me, stop complaining, you could be in New York where a plane has just flown into the World Trade Center. And of course, in a matter of minutes, we'd find out about the second plane in New York, the plane that hit the Pentagon, and Flight 93. And there was an enormous sense of confusion and concern and uncertainty. And amidst all of that confusion and concern and uncertainty, it was hard to know where to go or what to think. I remember minutes later sitting in my colleague Sandy Freeman's classroom listening to a transistor radio and the news media trying to make sense of what was happening. This is, of course, in the early days of the internet, so we didn't have the range of media outlets that we have today. Well, what's interesting is that 20 years later, a lot of those students who were in my class that year, which of all the groups of young people I worked with was just among my favorites. A lot of those people are still in my life who reach out to me on occasion or who I run into. So when I see Moses or Caroline or Trish or Chelsea, I'm always taken back to that time we had together. And I'm also grateful for those enduring relationships and the presence that those people now in their 30s still have in my life. And I think a lot about the parallels between that time and today, because of course today there's also a lot of uncertainty and a lot of trauma that we're all feeling, and a sense of displacement and uncertainty. And I certainly hope and wish that now, like then, we can all hang on to each other and find comfort in our loved ones and our neighbors and those we care about. And even as we meet new people and encounter those who haven't been part of our life, that we see a common humanity in one another when we look into each other's eyes. While we don't know exactly what the future holds, we know that every day is going to be better when we're taking care of each other and when we're practicing empathy with one another. And so I say to myself, like I say to all of you, I hope this can continue. I'll say, as an organization here in the Unified Government, one of the things that we're doing right now is anticipating how that we're going to support the community through the American Rescue Plan Act funds that we're receiving over the next 2 years. Not all of this is planned, because we want to leave some room for understandings that are going to emerge. But some key areas of support are becoming clear, and they include public health, both physical and mental health, housing, homelessness, support for small and disadvantaged businesses, youth support, and support for our employees. And so I anticipate that one of the things we're going to be doing is coming to those of you who have expertise or experience in these areas in the coming months, so we can determine how we best can support this community broadly. It's one of these things that from the very earliest days in my time in Athens up until now has made me proud to be an Athenian. It's the way that we support each other. So this weekend and in the weeks ahead, I do hope that you continue to rely on each other and reach out to each other. It's this love we share that is going to make us get through all of this. God bless, and I'll be coming to you soon.